This is my current profitable Gold Autobattle build for my main account for Crow Castle, and I have all the 4 gold boosting heroes in here: Rogue, Military Band Male, Alchemist and Orc Band, as well as the gold boosting treasures and the highest level Devil Horn. So the meta has shifted, 8 million waves has been completed, and in case you haven't been noticing, this is a full lightning setup I'm running in here right now. I will go through it with you guys, and also towards the end I will also talk about a little bit of making the build easier if you're trying to run it on a lower Devil Horn level or a lower level in general. And the main damage dealers for this build are the Dark Lightning Archer, Thor, Zeus and Dark Assassin. You will see the results in a bit as soon as this wave right here completes. There we go. So the battle results look like this. Thor is the clear number 1 in here, dealing tremendous amount of damage against ground monsters, and Zeus is doing the same but against air monsters, and Dark Lightning Archer is on boss duty, while Dark Assassin helps, dealing a little bit of damage to both flying and ground monsters alike. And if you take a look at the boss results, my Dark Lightning Archer is usually the number 1 in here. Sometimes this varies a little bit, but usually Dark Lightning Archer is the number 1 boss damager, and the gold from the monsters is shown in here. That also varies a little bit wave by wave. I'll go quickly through the main items and then we will take a look at the skill tree as well and modify the build a little bit. For this one I'm running 28 cooldown skill level +1 lines for this build, and that makes my pure wizard to be on 5.91 seconds cooldown. It's a little bit higher than what I was running on the physical summon build. I had 5.7 in there, but there's a little bit of room for improvement for me in there. The main damage dealer items are for Thor. Let's start from Thor first. I have double critical chance with chain lightning and attack speed, and also double critical damage, chain lightning and attack speed for the accessory. I still would need a decent E items for Thor, so there's room for improvement in terms of there. For Dark Lightning Archer, I have the same items that I run for Dark Bowmaster previously, so double critical chance and double critical damage with cooldown skill level +1 lines. For Zeus, I'm running triple critical lines on both items. This one has a cooldown skill level +1 line, and here this one doesn't, but also triple critical lines nevertheless. And Zeus is put on air to help killing the air monsters without any issues whatsoever. And Dark Assassin has the same items as he had previously in my physical summon build. So these are the basic Dark Assassin items with cooldown skill level +1 lines in here. Another thing to note in here is that my Giant Ogre's cooldown is lower than my Pure Wizard, which means my Giant Ogre is double proccing during the waves. I have a double cooldown lines over here and a single cooldown line over here, but that's enough to make him double proc. And this helps very nicely against the normal ground monsters because he's basically cast twice every time he's used, and that means a lot of knockback and stun against the normal ground monsters, who then can be freezed by Dark Ice Wizard. I don't have a double proc cooldown items for Dark Ice Wizard for my build. I basically just have a fill-in cooldown skill level +1 line items for Dark Ice Wizard so that I can get 2 more CDEs in for the build. My slingers have the same items as I had previously in my physical summon build. If you have been watching the videos previously, these are the same items I ran in the previous videos as well. Now I'm running this build without any healers in here, but in case you would like to have a little bit safer version of this build, you would most likely want to take off Rogue, in which case you can take in Smith. This allows you to have a healer in this build, making it most likely a little bit more stable to run. And if I were to do this right now, I would also on this Devil Horn level to put the static orb on slingers instead of the agility orb. So this would be a little bit more stable version to run. You could also try running someone else in here, for example Paladins or Dorothy, depending who works for you the best. You can do the testing for yourself. But let's take a look at the skill tree before modifying this build any further. And I will also make an image version of this. I will link it in the description box and in the pinned comments as well, in case you wanna check it out in there and stare at my awesome skill points over here. There's maybe a minor tweaks I could use and do in this build, but this is currently what I'm running. And the main important things, in case you are trying to run this build on a lower amount of skill points, is to have the full lightning tree, because obviously we are running a lightning build, the increased damage to leader nodes, the hammer node over here, and of course the bow node and the archery applies to itself node. Eventually, if you're running Dark Assassin's damage dealer, you will also want the sword node over here. But after getting these ones, you will want to go to the physical tree and you will want to get the strafe nodes over here. Now, if you have enough points, you will also get the Giant Ogre node over here, which will increase the knockback of your Giant Ogre, making him even better crowd controlling unit. If you are not using Giant Ogre, you could run Mechram as well instead of Giant Ogre. Test for yourself which one is better. Then you won't be obviously needing these 3 points over here, but otherwise I would also recommend eventually picking this one as well. After going through the physical tree, you will wanna take the summon tree as well, and the main important things in here are the Slinger's piercing node, which is absolutely great for your crowd controlling, and also the increased amount of monsters per wave in case you are running a Gold Autobattle build, because the more monsters you get, the more money you will get from killing those monsters. So this is what you want to get if you are trying to run a profitable Gold Autobattle build. Now, if you are still running a free Autobattle build, then you won't really be needing this node over here, but in gold builds you will. Those are basically the basic necessities for the build, and after that one you will most likely want to get the ice tree, and in here the increased amount of damage to frozen monsters, and these do increase damage to slowed monsters as well. You can kind of skip these 3 points over here at first. This only gives you like 0.5 seconds of freeze duration, so it's a minor boost. You can use the points elsewhere until you have enough to get this one as well, but the ice tree will be the next. After that one will be your poison tree, and then lastly the fire tree. Now, if you were to drop the full fire tree from this build and the full poison tree from this build, you would have like 46 skill points, I think, even if we count these 3 as well, like 46 skill points less needed for running this full build right here. That would mean you could do it with 139 skill points, and you can probably still drop something else in here, make minor adjustments over here, over there. Let's see some modifications then, and I'm running the full gold treasures in here with the 10% horn as well. If you are trying to run Devil Horn 4 and you can't run the horn, then you can use Power Claw in here instead to make your build stronger. This should help you trying to reach the Devil Horn +4 eventually, and if you can run it without the Power Claw, but you can't put in the horn, then you can use the bronze piece for more gold boosting treasures. And in case you are trying to not run the Devil Horn +4, but you are trying to get a profitable Devil Horn +3 working for with Gold Autobattle, for example, then in that case I would recommend using these treasures for Devil Horn +3 to maximize your gold income. Now, if you can run it with this setup, that's great with the Devil Horn +3, but if you are still not strong enough to run the waves, then you could try and experiment if you drop the Alchemist and take in someone else. Now, Paladins are great for ground body blocking, for example, so you could take Paladins since they also get boosted by the bar, so you will have 10 Paladins per each cast, which is quite nice body blocking against the ground monsters. You could also try someone else in here, Mekram, for example, for increased knockback, or one of the witches, Dorothy, for example, for the poison debuff, or something else. You can try which works for you the best, but again, you have to try and monitor if you are making good profit with it or not. Now, with this we have 2 gold boosting heroes in the build and 3 treasures and the Devil Horn +3. We can check if my build is making profit in here. I do have a couple of more points in the outer circle that you would have in your case most likely, but let's see what kind of a profit or no profit we make with this setup. So 3.7 is the cost to start this auto battle. Let's do 1 wave on this +4 jump and see what we are going to be getting. So you are seeing there's a lot of, well, I'm kind of killing stuff quite nicely in here, but you are having a lot of Paladins, giving a lot of crowd control for you, in addition to Giant Ogre and Dark Ice Wizard as well. And they are also baiting poison meteors away from slingers, which means your slingers will be alive for a longer time, which means they will be able to deal out more crowd control, throw more spears before they eventually die. So that also helps you in terms of crowd control as well, because of the thanks to the Paladins in the build. And now let's see, our battle results are a little bit different. The order is a little bit different than with the Devil Horn +4. But let's see the gold, and we are getting 4. So we are making profit with this setup in here as well. So this is something you can try if you're trying to reach a profitable Gold Autobattle build with a Devil Horn +3. And that's basically my current Gold Autobattle build done. Now, if you are in early game trying to do a free Autobattle Lightning setup, I would recommend the free Autobattle Lightning video I posted earlier. You should see it over there as well right now. I will also link it in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. See you next time. Laku out.